Welcome to The Point. I'm your host, Eric Mitchell. Great show for you today. We're going to be talking about all the conspiracy theories that we're seeing out there and some interesting news as we've learned before we've taped this. We're going on to our fifth, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, our fifth Secretary of Defense. Joining me today is the amazing host of Military Matters for Stars and Stripes, the wonderful and amazing Army veteran, Rod Rodriguez. Rod, welcome to the show, bud. How are you doing today?
I'm doing as well as any American right now can be.
Right? You and I, we talk a lot offline.
Oh, yeah.
You were a definite get. You had an amazing podcast, and we're going to put it in the links after the show. But your recent podcast on the QAnon and these conspiracy theories, I wanted to have you on talk about that episode, and then 2020 election happened, and those people bubbled to the surface with nuclear ballots that we all use to mark who cheated and who didn't.
Well, this goes back to, that doesn't even sound as insane as a lot of other things that have, as you said, bubbled to the surface. And what a great analogy, bubbling to the surface. It is boiling over. You know, QAnon that was the topic of our podcast at Military Matters, because honestly, prior to talking with my very good friend Jack Murphy about QAnon in the military ranks, I never really heard about QAnon. Mm-hmm. I heard whisperings of it, but I never really understood what it was. And then I went full Q. I went into it. I jumped into those murky waters, read all the Q posts, and wow. When you say it like nuclear ballots, that's okay. Nuclear ballots. Let's take the Batman approach. Remember, I think that's what he did, right? Then he irradiates some dollar bills and, they track down the bad guy.
Yep.
All right. I'll give that to you. Maybe. There are irradiated ballots. But
Dwight Schrute once peed on a document and made it so you could see it on The Office. He put a secret memo with urine. Also possible, I guess.
Also possible. But let's go into the conspiracy itself, that there is a cabal of Satan worshipers who eat and molest children, and that it's part of a bigger conspiracy. There are high-level celebrities and political leaders, and that the only person that can stop it is the president, President Donald Trump. Not just any president, but specifically Donald Trump. So when we talk about stuffed ballots, we talk about the dead rising to cast their vote for Biden. What we're looking at is a much bigger discussion. It is a discussion of what is possible, what is plausible, and what is digestible to the general public and to our military. And that's the scary part. You've got, there are so many people in the military ranks wearing uniforms that are in positions of great decision making who believe in the Q posts. Now, I want to preface that with saying I don't think they're dumb. I don't believe that. I don't believe they're stupid. I don't think they're dumb. I don't think they're bad people. Listen, if you're watching this and you believe in the QAnon conspiracy, you're not a bad person. You're just a person with beliefs that are very different from mine. And I don't think there's any way for me to convince you that you could be wrong. And I think that's where the conspiracy really develops, is I don't think I can convince you.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually, when you think about it. It's crazy because I listened to your podcast, and some of this is just crazy. I keep saying crazy because I can't believe it. Like, I looked at it and was like, these are the people, the same people who believe 9/11 was an inside job. They're the ones who created these, videos like Joe Rogan makes fun of. The most recent one, the ballot one is hilarious. But the one that was the most concerning, which was funny because you actually saw people involved in the actual operation come out and be like, dude, what are you talking about? Was the very president we're talking about. He believed the statement, actually retweeted it, that President Obama, the 44th president of the United States of America, two two terms, killed SEAL Team 6, and Osama bin Laden is still alive. He's apparently hanging out on an island with Tupac and Biggie and anyone else that we've lost. Maybe Alex Trebek is there. And then you had to have Robert O'Neill, who has been a very staunch Trump supporter, come out on Twitter like, bruh, I killed him. He dead. Like, I put the rounds in him personally. And then when asked by one of my favorite journalists, Samantha Guthrie, who her credibility as an investigative journalist cannot be questioned. She's not fake news. She asked the question and the president danced around it like, well, it's like, bro, there's members of SEAL Team 6 still alive. They're not dead. You think Jocko would sit on this? You think Michael Sorali would sit on this? These are guys who are operators who are very familiar with this and know these guys. They'd come out and be like, yeah, we're kind of aware that SEAL Team 6 was killed off by a president. These guys wouldn't sit on this.
But they're in on it too.
Oh,
see,
of course.
that's the beauty of it, because Jocko is in the forefront. Because anybody that would dispute this they're already under the limelight. They have books, they have shows, they're somebody. They have gained something, and this is the exchange. This is the your pieces of silver kind of thing. What we have to remember about a conspiracy is that it appeals to the very core of what a human being wants. They want to be special. We want the inside track. We want to feel like look, most Americans, let's be perfectly honest with ourselves. Most Americans didn't serve in the military. Most Americans grew up, went to school, or got a job. They live 9 to 5, and their excitement comes from something at work. Maybe a new product came in, or somebody got into a car accident. The car accident on the way to work was probably the most exciting thing that's happened to them all month. Most people, I would say a majority of people, want adventure. They want to feel like they're part of it. A conspiracy is like a choose your own adventure had a weird maligned baby, where we're the host of our own show, and we hear about all these exciting things. And did you know there's a cabal of Satan worshipers at SEAL Team 6 and the president and you, Eric Mitchell? You're at the middle of it, man, and you are one of a very few set of people who know this deeper, darker secret. And it's everyone else that's in the dark. How cool does that feel? I mean, you're in your own action movie.
It's bananas, my friend.
It's bananas, but it makes sense to the person who really wants it to make sense.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause right here. We're going to jump into another segment. We're going to take a second, jump into another segment, come back, continue this QAnon, because it's amazing how it's everywhere. So when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation about QAnon, the conspiracy theories, and people jumping from you may have seen this, social media platform jumping, looking for greener fields to find your news to be different. I'm going to break bad news to you. It's going to be the same wherever you go. It's social media, and it's how it works. We're going to discuss that with the host of Military Matters with Stars and Stripes, the wonderful Rod Rodriguez. Stay tuned and check out the next segment.